Alright, everyone, I want everybody to check in on how this 2026 is going. Yesterday I got to see a 17th anniversary, for what it was. Made by 2026, but a very big negative for this video. I started off 26 with a different theme, only talk videos, knowing that it was going to be point after point. That's another thing that's severely immature for this video. People need to stop trying. Literally, if he stopped his college lessons while he was ahead, you have no right literally to drag the shit on and say, oh, I scored so low because I didn't care about popular people. What happened just now, guys, is I recapped about my pain in 29. I had to keep on rebuying iPods because the real songs are there that are made by Bloods. This is when I got in-concert effect. Because what that means is Bloods are definite. They hit you with a receipt by a car you're driving by Dominique and Bobby. And what ended up happening was they didn't know that my mother used the Vario to Full Ontario to get the Megalodon. I kept on buying iPods, but guess what? You kept on doubling pine. You kept on being the immature little kid. And each and every time I get relief, really, you hit me with something severely immature that's not all about being social. So it's time for you to admit that I have kids. It's time for you to admit that literally, the middle of my gangster, how I was let come to you and how I was eloquent. How I put up for a gang, allowed Uncle Tommy to roast me so good. But anyway, the reason why I didn't want to keep doing it for 2026 is because you didn't give me the feedback that was professional. That was 100% professional, literally. Me leading you on for 6 years, and last year, literally, is camera videos that are point after point. So yes, 26 is 21. And do not look at the Madonna video. It is horseshit. Primo back in his prime, literally where I had roof, but it's way different than right now where there's Life of Boys. With that being said, it's time to spill the beans and recognize that I could have put nons on Primo TV if it wasn't for the whole that the teachers were gaslighting me. Anyway, the videos were negative, really. Instead of knowing the lesson from reverse, literally 26 ended up being one of the worst years. If it wasn't for me coming to my senses and recognizing that they didn't pay me. Yeah, I just bought another iPod 3 Bell, literally. Another thing that Bloods control, if you're not all up on it, that's also how I lost my chain, how I double checked the shit. That's exactly how I lost my New Year glasses. That's where the immature Blood gang revolves around, doing shit for a popular reason instead of common sense. And that ends with that. So literally, they repeated high school, it went from headphones to whole MP3 players. Because of the cause and effect reason, now you can't ignore the cause and effect. Now you know that this is a big video anyway. When it came to yesterday, I need you to check out Dragon Ball Z episode 87. It actually stars Goku vs. Frieza. And check out newest on Netflix, My Hero World's Mission movie. That's why I stood at the Mess of Bonds. That's why I stood up to mom. But that's really where the stats are. NASA has been torn apart lately because they've been relying on the same thing. I can't believe something is so immature. Lately, I'm so above the Board of Education, it's not even funny. What the Board of Education does is it does monument lately at the right time. But when it comes to flexible and fluidity, what a gang member taught me, it's not doing the right thing at the right time. A gang member called out control. You called out this is this society. I'm like, what the fuck? The Jamal, the Countdown, all that shit literally get fucked up on my mom. This is this society? Get the fuck out of here. But guess what I ran into? Anything that's hot, like playing a video game in the stadium, playing anime in the stadium, has to be green screen, bugged up by your uncle Lily, and made to use around to use their equipment. So Goku vs. Frieza, My Hero's World Mission, Lily, is what I've been falling back on. And what ended up happening, through 30, Lily, when they say, calm down, Lily, you're still gonna do this, and that, was I was able to, air and view Family Guy on TV. Lily, when my mom said air, it was one of the most destructive things in my fucking life, because it was the biggest roast of all time. But compared to the studio, and compared to other people, Lily, it was nothing, but I couldn't take it like that. I'm 100% logic. Why? Because of the way that I came at you, Lily, in high school, and the way I came in the ARL. So that's 2026 people, but I'm gonna spill the biggest beans. I'm trapped there third-souled like Sony Vegas, so my body is only partially there in Alpha Omega, and teachers are complaining about the equipment. But I did all the requirements in round 1. And guess what ends up happening? Sony Vegas is in the sky. Because I have to spill the beans. You're willing to use military machinery, let it come to you and other garbage devices in order to stop me from getting my anime, which is common sense, in order to push my mental condition, so I have to confess. I use Sony Vegas in the sky. Sony Vegas literally is how I can get my shit, and Sony Vegas is how I can go back in time. So you need to understand the 17th anniversary was a part of 26 Lily, but I didn't get emphasis on it just like the talk video, so what I did, I went back to my old ways and tried to make it 2021. But that's the biggest bullshit, and the reason why Lily you have concrete songs in your iPod when you bang Blood guys is because of the way it goes. Because you have concrete lyrics, literally, a concrete beat that's subjective, and guess what they do when you have cause and effect? They stop the work through NASA in order to stop you from listening to your music because it is concrete in order to put off artistic struggle. Literally, what did Eris do when he had one thing play off another, like Jericho break it down? He's like, there's no reason we should be complaining about no reason. Literally, there's beautiful music. There's things going into detail, especially on the radio. Something goes hand in hand with something, so there should be no reason for complaining. You did all that shit, literally, defeat the purpose. That's like a skateboard, literally, the basketball. I said, what the hell, Turret? Make sure don't even use it anyway? Now you don't understand. I have to hear my mom's mouth Lily about another iPod. Because of something true that comes to my head, but every time our iPod I have a beat, the dead person was responding to my face. Like you never got, and a bucket double implied that C is protecting you for your sexual crime. Because what they want in a situation, Lily, is to have a situation for animation be just like family. Oh, everything's just to feed your sexual assault. What I do is big things in the studio. While I saw Brisket, everything was big things. Even in the studio, you can even ask Auntie Lisa, Lily. They hear, they feel. Eris Moody, Martin Luther King of Nerds, who created better than the greatest mangaka of all time. What ends up happening is Sean and people like Lightning keep complaining. So I'm like, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. Nothing like the common sense of Bree, which is the reason why I'm getting so fucked up, by the way. But if the common sense of Bree then traps from the studio, then I don't want to be fucking in there. But it's sad. It's really sad to see. Lily, that's the whole reason why the video games today. What are video games establishing? I can do anything in the world but not match a tree. Exactly how they treat you in high school, exactly how scientists treat you. So I'm like, fuck you. That's why I use hell. That's why I eventually use Gabe. And that is the meaning of this video.